Look, using an old intro does not make it okay. We just want to see the countdown.
Astro Man is one of the more unique robot masters in Mega Man base. Oh wait, no he isn't, he's from Mega Man 8 also, you twit! Yes, I know, but I found the Mega Man base version of the stage to be better. His stage seems to be a space city or utopia. Think Moonbase Alpha, guys. And the background is pretty cool for a SNES GBA game capabilities. Another pretty cool mechanic of the stage is this silhouette room where enemies pop out and their shadows are reflected on the background before work. And also, blocks. Block buttons, rising block physics, and everyone's favorite, disappearing blocks. Yay! Yeah, this game is without a doubt the hardest in the classic series. Now on to Astro Man himself. First off, his design. All I have to say here is balls with arms. Him and Cloud Man could get along. Get it? Cloud Man rides a ball. Okay, never mind. This joke is flawed. I'm not sure if anyone's ever noticed this though, but Astro Man's eyes are soul piercing and they never blink. Now for his battle. Since I've never played Mega Man base up to this point, like I said, the game is difficult. Astro Man's strategy is to teleport around the room and spawn enemies to jump out of the ground. He also throws energy balls at you and protects himself with his 2 balls. The jokes are writing themselves at this point, man. His weapon is actually reminiscent of Split Mushroom's weapon from Mega Man X4, and it creates a clone of Mega Man or Base that can fire on its own to kill enemies. It's used for a lot of puzzles, and is even required to get into the game's final level. Astro Man is a unique, creative, and interesting robot master from Mega Man Base, or Mega Man 8, like I said, and is one of the best out there. Like space.
Ah, Mega Man 9. I love this game so much. Its return to the series' roots was the perfect nostalgia trip for me. And its robot masters were the most balanced in the series in my opinion. So much so that the first representative of this game on the list lands at number 29. Say hello to Hornet Man. There's just a lot that I like about this guy. He's actually pretty well designed, having a stinger on his head and a torso shaped like a honeycomb. Considering he was designed to watch over a flower-themed park, his stage is full of flowers. I mean, we have pots shooting flowers that home in on you, living scissors, unrolling platforms, and an admittedly annoying mini-boss. As for the fight, Hornet Man follows a very specific pattern. Fly up, launch 3 Hornets that home in on you, drop down, run to the other side, rinse and repeat. This is why the Magma Bazooka was made. When you beat him, you get the incredibly useful Hornet Chaser. Not only does it home in on enemies, but it can also be used to retrieve items that are out of reach. Now here's something interesting. Hornet Man was actually going to be the first female robot master, and was originally named Honey Woman. However, another robot master got the honor. Still, I'd say Hornet Man came out smelling like a rose.
Some robot masters have hard stages, while others have challenging boss fights. Quickman from Mega Man 2 has both, but let's take this one step at a time. First, his design. After some research, I learned that Dr. Wily made Quickman by using parts of Electman, and the material he is made out of is lightweight, which allows him to move incredibly fast. Next, there's his stage. By now, every Mega Man fan should know this stage, but for those who aren't big fans, let me explain. The background looks very mechanical, with music to fit the mood. If you want to get to Quickman, you have to be, well, quick. This is a good test of your reflexes, and can also pose as a bit of a challenge. You have to be pretty skilled to dodge all of the lasers and get all the collectibles. If you can manage to beat the stage, you fight Quickman himself. This fight is among one of the most challenging in the game. Quickman is incredibly fast and has an unpredictable pattern. He can fire his quick boomerangs, which work as normal boomerangs do. You throw them and they come back to you. Quickman is so fast that it actually hurts him when he doesn't move, so the time stopper can help a lot for this fight. After beating Quickman, you receive the quick boomerangs. while they are outclassed by the Metal Blades, they are a good alternative, and even hold the weakness of many of the bosses. So, although challenging, Quickman isn't bad. He's actually really cool. His design is good, his stage is tough, the fight is fun, and although his weapon isn't as good as others, it is pretty fun to use at times. Quickman is a really cool Robot Master.
Oh, and remember, lasers.
Remember when Pluto got demoted to a dwarf planet? Yeah, Star Droid Pluto must have been infuriated. Out of all the Star Droids in Mega Man 5 on Game Boy, this guy is by far the most badass. Just looking at this guy should be enough to tell you that he's not to be messed with. I mean, those tough-looking claws and that stance just scream, "Come at me, bro!" His stage is one of the game's trickier areas, featuring platforms that fall whether you're on them or below them. Isn't that classic? There are also shielded enemies that require a punch to the face to make them vulnerable, rockets on wheels, hammerheads, and flying cannons that drop shockwaves. Don't ask, not to mention a pathetic mini-boss. As for the fight with Pluto, it can get very frantic, very fast. His pattern is to fire 2 energy waves, then he'll dash at you and up the walls, up to the corner, and fire a series of shots that actually home in on you slightly. His speed and power can catch you off guard if you're not careful. The reward you get from him is the Break Dash. It's basically a charged tackle that allows you to break through enemies and certain blocks. Not a bad weapon, but there are better. Even still, for his badass design, intense fight, and his cool stage, Pluto manages to earn a place among my favorite of the Star Droids. And all you furries out there better be careful, or else he'll fuck your shit up. But Sheepman sucks, Adam! Shut up! No, he doesn't! Sheepman's awesome! I swear, you guys rip on this guy because of his design. And play your 2s and your 3s! But in all honesty, I've seen even worse designs. And while I could go into my own guide to helping the nostalgically blind, I'll just talk about Sheepman. To be honest, for some reason, I like Sheepman's design. He seems to remind me of something... that's why. As for its stage, it's very creative. It takes place inside a cyberspace-like environment, featuring pointer icons for enemies, platforms powered by conveyors, colored lines of blocks that disappear after you stand on them, and a light bulb octopus for a mini-boss. As for the fight, Sheepman's tactics shift between offense, shooting arcing electric shots, and defense, where he uses his wool to create static clouds that rain down thunder. The last one that goes off is where he is, so be wary of that. Now, the big reason I like Sheepman is because of the cultural reference. Sheepman is most likely based on the sci-fi novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Wow, Capcom, you sure are clever. My one legitimate complaint about Sheepman? His weapon is so awkward that it's borderline useless. The Thunderwool creates a cloud that doesn't do damage unless it rises to the ceiling. If it were actually good, he'd be a lot higher. Even still, if you have a problem with Sheepman just because of his design, then my guess is that you have a problem with Mareep, Flapfy, and Ampharos. And if that's the case, I know someone who has a problem with you. Mega Man 6's Robot Masters are representatives of various countries, with styles that would either get Gaijin Goomba's attention or make him cringe. We've already covered Japan and Greece, and at number 25, we have the United States representative, Tomahawk Man. This guy is awesome, even if he is historically inaccurate. I really don't think old American Indians looked like this, and they certainly didn't have a fucking axe for a hand. That's not to say that it's not a cool design, because it certainly is. Now for his stage. They decided to go with a Wild West mine theme here, with cowboy gunslingers being the first enemies you face. The best part of the stage, however, is the area with the sunset in the background, which looks gorgeous, especially by NES standards. Proto Man even makes an appearance in this level. And I just love the music. And the fight itself is solid as well. He has 2 basic attacks. He'll either fire his Tomahawk, which is known to extinguish a candle from 100 feet away, and fire feathers from his headdress, which I swear are made of steel. The Silver Tomahawk is probably my favorite weapon in the whole game. It's very powerful, and has an upward arc which can take out higher enemies. With this in your arsenal, taking down the Wily Machine is easy as hell. Bottom line, Tomahawk Man is one Robot Master that Mega Man 6 can be thankful for.
First off, let me give you, in a nutshell, every single gamer's reaction to this boss. Alright, here we go. Wait, what? A female Robot Master? Dun, dun, dun. Being the only female Robot Master in the series, Splash Woman is, needless to say, pretty unique. On top of that, she's a mermaid. Mermaids are cool. Being a mermaid, her stage is, naturally, a water level. Also, it has the spikes. Two of the most common annoyances in games for the price of one. Yeah! Along with that, you get to ride bubbles. Fucking bubbles! No. Joking aside, the water physics in this stage aren't as bad as they generally come. The spikes aren't placed in places that are guaranteed to kill you for the first time, and the bubbles, while annoying well, they're just annoying, but they're a small part of the whole stage. It's overall a decent stage with just one kind of tiny little thing that kind of irks me, the goddamn moving platform! Sorry. Anyway, the fight with Splash Woman herself is actually pretty fun. She can summon fish to swim at you with their siren-esque singing, and rain down bolts of electricity on you with their trident. It's a fun fight, relying purely on your avoidance skills and some decent timing if you're going Buster only. The weapon she gives you, the laser trident, is freaking awesome. It can blast through just about everything and does a good deal of damage to boot. In short, decent stage, good fight, freaking amazing weapon, and the unique design gives Splash Woman a thumbs up from me.
You know how people on the internet have these things called flame shields? Well, we can trace the origins of this wondrous device back to 1987 in the original Mega Man, and to its creator, Fireman. Modeled after a torch and originally created for waste disposal, Fireman is the original hothead of the Mega Man franchise. And herpity-derp, his stage has lava and fire everywhere. Bolts of fire, flaming heads, what I'm guessing is burning garbage, and columns of fire that can be frozen by the ice slasher. How does that even work? As for Fireman himself, his fight is one of the most intense in the original Mega Man. The waves of fire he shoots can be tough to dodge as it is, but they also leave behind a fireball on the ground that you have to dodge as well. This is a fight of attrition as you try to bring him down before he burns you to a crisp. Beating him gets you the Firestorm, which not only shoots a fireball, but creates a shield of fire to damage enemies that get close. So useful! Another thing I should mention is his appearance in the remake, Mega Man Powered Up. In this remake, each Robot Master got a chibi redesign and a unique personality. And they gave Fireman a personality like a cowboy sheriff.
Fire! The flame of justice burns strong. My flame of justice will have its revenge on you. Nothing escapes my flames of burning justice. As long as my justice burns bright, evil will never prevail.
Best sheriff ever. To finish off this segment, I'll share some advice for you. You don't fuck with Fireman! Okay, I could start this off with a Gurren Lagann reference, but since I've never watched said anime, Drillman! Drillman was originally designed by Dr. Cossack for tunneling and construction, and he has drills on his head and arms for this purpose. Until Wily converted him into an instrument of death. So why do I like him more than I like Groundman, who has 8 drills on his body? Well, I'll get to that. First, his stage. It's a mine, filled with Minotaurs, ladybug bots, batons, and this may be overanalyzing things, but I like how the spikes look like drills. In the later part of the stage, there are chutes that drop rocks, and switches that create more flooring. First separate, and then together. See? This is another example of how to introduce players to obstacles. Drillman's fight is rather simple. He'll either walk around and attack you with his drill bombs, or burrow underground in an attempt to hit you from below. I like this fight better than the one with Groundman, however, because there's no ridiculous hit stun from the weakness weapon. The drill bomb is also a cooler weapon than the spread drill, in my opinion. Its detonation can blast through thick concrete. I can't stress this enough. Drills with bombs are more effective than drills that do not have bombs. Why can't people figure this out? Again, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Nowadays, the reputation of vampires has been slandered by sparkling fairies. Well, we can still thank Konami for the Castlevania series. And while we're at it, we can thank Capcom and Mega Man 7 for Shade Man. Now this is a vampire that I can agree with. His vampire design is clearly inspired by the Hammer horror flicks rather than Castlevania. Still, it's a cool design. And his stage? Well, let's just say they ran away with the horror theme here. I mean, the castle is filled with robo-zombies, possessed helmets, bats, werewolves, and even...
What? Pumpkin? Pumpkin what? What? Pumpkin what?
On top of that, there's a hidden area where you can fight Proto Man one-on-one, as well as the scene where Base's dastardly plan is set in motion. Not only that, but there's an awesome Easter egg here, an alternate music track which is actually the Ghosts and Goblins theme. As far as the fight itself, it requires some good sliding skills. Shade Man will spend most of the fight in the air, swooping down in an attempt to grab you and drain your health. When he comes down, he'll either attack you with sound waves or a petrifying beam. Once you beat him, you'll get the Noise Crush, which fires a powerful sound wave. You can actually absorb it on the rebound to charge it up. Now that's cool. Overall, with his cool design, awesome stage, and sweet weapon, Shade Man manages to do what a vampire should do. Be threatening and actually put up a fight! Foiled again, Twilight.